for Nate Burleson. He was there on site working last night, asking the hard-hitting questions, and he caught up with the head coaches of the Super Bowl. He also caught up with Brandin Cooks. Take a listen.
Now, let me be very clear. If Brandin Cooks is on your team, your offense is going to be legit. So let's get right to it. Less than a handful of guys with Super Bowl experience. When all the chaos quiets down and you have alone time with your players, what are you telling them about this moment?
You know, for me, I think the biggest thing that I can tell our guys is to really trust the process. If we really trust our process like we say we do, there's no need to change, anything this week, whatever you eat, whatever you drink, how you sleep. So continue to trust that process because that's what's got it here so far.
Now, you're a humble guy. You don't talk much, but when you're talked to, you talk back. Patrick Chung, your former teammate, he said, "We're going to kick their ass, baby." And you responded, "Hey, Chung, we heard you talking back there in Foxborough. You don't talk a lot of trash. Why did you have to respond to this?"
You know, I think it's just one of those things, just, knowing that I got my guys back and knowing that we hear them. But at the end of the day, it's the game. It's the game of football, and there's going to be stuff talked back and forth. I try to do it in a humble fashion.
All right, now listen, it's just me and you. Don't worry about the cameras, everybody listening. Is it going to be sweet if you beat your former team? Like, for real, just talk to me.
To be honest with you, I haven't really thought about that. It's just more so the fact that being blessed to be back here in this position. I mean, last year, unfortunately, it ended soon for me. So being back here, I like to thank God. And, I like to say he doesn't make no mistakes, and it's not by accident.
Thoughts on that, guys? Nick killed it.
Nate was awesome. Yeah. At one point, he was dancing with Deion, which is like everyone's childhood dream. And he was talking about Jared Goff, and then Deion goes, "Now remember, he's playing against Tom Brady." And Nate goes, "Talk about it, Deion." It was like it was right here. It was incredible. I mean, imagine that. I was so jealous. It was amazing.
Brandin Cooks, double agent. Maurice Jones-Drew said that last week.
Yeah, it's an interesting theory that, he didn't get to finish the Super Bowl last year. He got hurt. Rodney McLeod knocked him out of the game, and there's almost like unfinished business for him. And then here he is. He's got the McDaniels playbook from last year. He knows Brady's tendencies from last year. How do the Rams utilize Brandin Cooks' knowledge of what the Patriots offense is in that room? And D'Angelo, as a former player, the three of us can roll our eyes and say, okay, well, I have to think that they do lean on him in some way.
Yeah, they will probably lean on him, but come on, this is Coach Belichick. You have to believe that Coach has changed everything.
Okay.
Just because he said Brandin Cooks was in my locker room. So you best believe, hey, if we used to call razor slant, it's not going to be a slant. It's going to probably be a slant and go because Coach Belichick's going to give you just enough of what it looked like, but he's going to change it. So Brandin Cooks, I'm sorry, buddy, but you're not going to be able to help that Rams defense because I'm telling you, Belichick
nothing.
Not giving you anything.
Strays and I both have this narrative in our head that in the fourth quarter he's going to have some amazing catch or a great fourth quarter.
I think he will impact this game. I mean, I thought he was going to impact the game last year, and to see him go down like he did, I was kind of, I felt bad for him. And so to see him back on this same stage with a different team.
My vision of him is sitting in the defensive room, and Wade Phillips is there, and Aubrey Pleasant's there, and Joe Barry's there, and he's teaching the coaches about McDaniels' offense. That's not happening?
That probably did happen.
Brain drain.
That probably did happen, but I'm telling you, Coach Belichick is not going to not change anything and give Brandin Cooks the roadmap to the win. That's not happening. You best believe those 2 weeks were definitely spent changing some of those calls that they used to run.
New offense, who dis, right? I mean, it's a
that they used to run.
Okay, but what about Talib? He played for them.
Same thing. Defensive calls, you best believe Coach Belichick is not doing the same thing because he knows those guys who are on his team are on opposing teams now. And so, I mean, I've been a part of an offense that was like Kyle Shanahan when he was in D.C. And then you go and play him where he's somewhere else. And it's like we're used to a particular call out of a formation or route concept, and Kyle used to give it to you every time. He's going to give you that bang eight, and so he know I love jumping the bang eight. So he gave me bang eight and go, and I'm like, I should have known that was coming.
He gone.
So
who ran the bang eight and go?
Julio Brady.
Who was it?
It was Julio. It wasn't Brady. But Matt Ryan missed him, so he didn't see it. He had some good pass rush. So.
What do you think of how Brandin Cooks has sort of handled this whole postseason, right? He's going up against New Orleans, who shipped him up to New England. Then now they're facing them. He's handled this pretty well.
Yeah, well, there's the X factor, and then there's the EX factor. Like he's the X of both teams. I think it's interesting that Nate asked him, what do you think? He's like, I haven't thought about it, and I'm like, I'll call BS on that. Like, I'm sure you have thought about it. You're playing it really safe.
Yeah.
So I think he's played it cool. I actually think he's one of the most important players in the whole game, just because it's about style. And I always think that the Patriots want to win with Devlin and Sony Michel, and the Rams want to air it out. And I don't think if Brandin Cooks doesn't have a huge game, I don't think the Rams can win this game. I think he is so critical to what they want to do because they want to score, man. They don't want to win this game 16-13. You know, that's him right there.
Yeah.
Other Super Bowl moments from opening night we might have missed?
You know, you were saying something, Kay, that you thought the Patriots showed up a little looser or like a little goofier. What do you mean? Because I saw that.
Gronk's Gronk's going to Gronk.
Yeah.
We're all crazy at this table yesterday. We decided who was going to steal the show. None of us picked Gronk. Clearly the obvious answer. He's having the time of his life. I mean, I just feel like last year Brady was, the image of him from opening night was tearing up and getting choked up about his dad and a kid asking him who his hero was, and he was of course dealing with things, and he was a little more quiet and reserved going into that entire Super Bowl week. This week he's like making jokes. He's not going to help Jared Goff. He's out there answering questions, being fun. He gave Jimmy Kimmel's, he gave Guillermo a hug, got up, did all those things. So he's more affable, and that scares me if I'm a Rams fan or a Ram or McVay, because like I said this yesterday, I feel like he knows something. It's like he goes in this a little more recklessly than usual. There's a twinkle, and it's also almost just like, this has been fun. Enjoy your time, Rams. We got this.
Belichick in a suit, McVay in jeans yesterday. I thought that was pretty telling.
It's true. I also thought that Gronk sometimes at that night, he's like very nervous, like because he knows he's not supposed to say anything. He doesn't want to get in trouble. He just wants to get through it. It's like Beavis almost. And last night he entered like Royal Rumble. Like he was dancing on the ramp. Maybe he knows this is his last one. I have no idea, but he was like good, fun, like caveman Gronk. And it was so cool.
Yeah,
of course, they asked him.
They're enjoying the moment.
They asked him if it was his last one, and he just...
Even he was funny about that.
Avoided it, I guess.
And the term he used about Irvin hugging his chest was very blue. And that was just him being him. Very blue. He's got boating activity. Who knew?
Let's talk more about the Super Bowl. We're headed there after the show today from New York. We will be in Atlanta tomorrow morning through Monday. So here on NFL Network. More to come with Nicole Roby-Coleman. He's been in the spotlight since the conference championships. What does the Rams corner have to say about the